Hey guys, Lytane here, and I just got back from seeing the movie It. You know, the one I was talking about yesterday? Well, they made a new version of it, and I just saw it today, and I just really want to talk about it. So here are my thoughts on the brand new film. The story for It is very similar to the first part of the two-part miniseries that was released in 1990, but if you don't know the plot, I'll go over it very quickly here. Ever since who knows when, a mysterious creature or force of nature has been living inside Derry, Maine, and every 27 years it wakes up and kills a whole bunch of people in order to feast. And just so you know, it's been 27 years since the last encounter, so guess who's woken up and is feeling nice and hungry? That's right, this crazy clown. One of his first victims is a kid named Georgie, which sends his brother Bill on this massive hunt in order to find him and bring him home, because Bill doesn't believe that Georgie is dead. Along the way, he gets his friends to help with the different schemes that he comes up with in order to find Georgie, but none of them prevail. It also doesn't help that this crazy clown is now terrorizing each and every one of these kids, manifesting in a way that will terrify them and bring them to their knees in absolute fear before it kills them. But all these kids do find each other and they become best friends. The Losers Club. I don't know if they say that in the film though, but they're the Losers Club, and they decide that they have to put a stop to Pennywise the clown. This is going to be full of non-spoilers. This is going to be my general thoughts about the movie. So first off, I want to say the actors. All of the child actors were fantastic. I liked every one of them. They all acted fairly well, both in the serious moments, the goofy moments, and of course when they were just shit terrified when it was attacking them. I like that all the kids had a personality that was very reminiscent of the ones that they had from the books, but also unique in themselves, in which case it wasn't just a carbon copy from the old movies, which I think is good. Also, they added a few different things and changed a few things around from what I know the movie and books to have, like the fact that Bill doesn't believe that Georgie is dead, because they never actually find the body in the new one, so he doesn't believe that he's dead. So most of the film he's going around trying to find Georgie instead of just trying to deal with the fact that Georgie is dead. Richie this time, which is supposed to be the jokester of the group, is actually funny. He actually comes up with a lot of great jokes and great silly lines and a little bit of crass, rude humor throughout the film, and it made me chuckle, and it does break up some of the tension that's in the film, so I think it's pretty good, and he's a lot better than the old Richie, that's for sure. So all the characters when they're together is actually really well. I do like their dynamic as friends whenever it is shown. There's not too many friendship scenes in this film. There's it's hard to explain. Like, there's a lot more terror and there's a lot more scares than in the original, and it's definitely higher budget scares than the original, because it's not made for TV, it's made for movies, so they could get away with a lot more. There's a lot more horror, a lot more terror in this film than compared to the original, but there's a little bit less of them being friends. I felt that when I was watching it, there weren't as many times where they were just hanging out and being friends and being a group. In fact, when Mike joins the group about halfway through the film, there isn't any more scenes with them just being friends. I sort of guess there's one, but that's about it. Like, I would have liked a little bit more when Mike joins the group of them actually becoming and being friends. Like, he's sort of an outsider. Like, that's one of the things I'm going to complain about later. But I just think that there's more terrors, which is great, but there's less friendship, which is not so great. The other main character in this movie is, of course, Pennywise the clown, and maybe it's nostalgia goggles, maybe it's not, I don't know, but Tim Curry is better. Yeah, Tim Curry is still the better clown. Don't get me wrong, I went into this film going, look, I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt, and he just did not impress me in the way that Tim Curry did. As soon as I saw him, I didn't mind so much the outfit this time. I still think it's too threatening, because one of the things that Pennywise is supposed to be. He's supposed to be being able to lure kids in to his traps, and just having one look at that clown made me go, no, there's no way I'm gonna go near that guy. He's definitely a psychopath. So that was a little bit bad, but they sort of explain it a bit more in the movie why he looks like that. So, but the thing is, he didn't look so bad. I got used to his look, and that's great. I especially loved his eyes. They did his eyes amazingly. There's plenty of times throughout the movie where you get close up of his eyes and there's shadow, but his eyes are always bright, because it's like you're looking into the deadlights of his eyes, and I think that was a great touch. I thought that was fantastic. Like, there's so many times where his eyes are ablaze, but his like bottom half of his face or top half of his face is shrouded in shadow, or him going to turn into like a monster form and bite stuff. And I really liked that. I think that was a very great addition to the character and to him. And that's pretty much where all my praise for that goes. Whenever Bill Skarsgård, that's his real life name, was playing the clown, he was okay in the horror scenes when he was trying to be creepy, when he was doing the attacks and stuff like that. I didn't find him too bad. I thought he was okay. It was just whenever he spoke and tried to just either be threatening or trying to be insulting or trying to be kind, depending on which of the scenes called for it. I didn't buy it. I didn't buy any of it. I really didn't like his performance whenever he was speaking. Every line that he delivered, I'm just like, nah, I'm not sold. I'm really not sold. This first scene when he's talking to Georgie, I was like, this is all really strange and definitely big stranger danger. There's no way Georgie would have fallen for this. It's just way too creepy. And I think that's one of the marks that this film just didn't hit. Like, he also does the floats line, and god damn it, Tim Curry, you made it sound so cool when you said it, and he couldn't live up to it. He really couldn't. When he said the floats line, and he says it a few times throughout the movie because it's a running motif, it's not as good. I'm like, damn, man, I know you're trying. I know you're trying. And you definitely come off as a more threatening it than than Tim Curry ever did. I still gotta say, Tim Curry was better. It's not to say that he was bad. If you've never seen the original, you'll probably get a kick out of this, but yeah, nothing holds a candle to Tim Curry. I'm sorry, Bill. You tried, and you tried pretty well. I'm just still gonna say Bill, and that, you know, Tim Curry was better. Now, for the plot of the film, I'm not going to go into any details, but it starts off fairly well. It's got the slow build before Georgie dies, which is really good. And if you watch my It review, I went into this moment where I was like, holy crap, like, when I realized what happened to Georgie, like, they rip off his arm and all that kind of stuff, and you get to see a little bit more of that here, which was crazy. Wow. And like I said, there's a lot more horror in this. There's a lot more scary moments. And one thing that I don't like in scary films are fucking jump scares. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to swear, but I hate jump scares because I always jump at jump scares. I am not a scared person in general. I can watch horror films and all that kind of stuff, and I can walk down dark alleys, and I'm not usually scared. Maybe I'll get nervous, but not usually scared. But jump scares get me most of the time, and I hate them because they're such a cheap thrill. A lot of good horror films and a lot of good scary things do the psychological, do the build-up, the tension, and then a good payoff, where this one had jump scares galore. And I could always tell when a jump scare was coming because the music started changing, and the cinema that I was in was just a rumble cinema. Everything was just shaking like crazy. I swear to God, it was like... it's really hard to describe. It was like the bass was turned up to like 27 out of 10. And I knew as soon as I felt that either Pennywise was there or a jump scare was going to happen, or probably both, because some of the jump scares aren't actually Pennywise, it's still it as a different thing. And I was like, oh my God, those kinds of scares are not good. There were a few good scares and a few things that were like legitimately creepy. There's some great scenes like where it's not so much jump scares and it's just good horror, but it's undercut by so many jump scares, and it annoyed me so much. That's not good horror, guys. So jump scares galore. If you're not into jump scares, then definitely don't watch this film. But anyway, so the plot of the film, after Georgie's death, slows down quite a bit, and it just feels a little jumbled, because you have them being friends. You have them trying to find Georgie, and then being friends, and then being slowly attacked by it, and then they all become friends again. And then by the end of it, by the end of the first half of the film, it has a really weird pacing, and then all of the second half of the film is all pretty much jump scares and horror and trying to take it down. I swear to God, a good 45 minutes to an hour of this film is their kids just getting scared by everything and trying to kill Pennywise. And I was like, this feels a little off. They spent maybe too much time, or yeah, I suppose too much time on the takedown of Pennywise. I did like the final fight though, between the kids and Pennywise. Like I said, I'm not gonna say anything spoilerific, but I thought that was really good, much better than the original. I think the final confrontation overall is better than the original. There's a few weird exposition things throughout the movie though, just so they can get some of the information across, but that's okay. So overall, I thought it was a good film. Definitely a lot of cool horror and a lot of cool scares. One thing that really annoyed me was the cameras that they would do for Pennywise. It would just shake a lot, but Pennywise's head would stay stable, so his like whole body shaking. It's so hard to describe, and I feel like an idiot doing it on camera. So his head would stay in one spot, and then his whole body and the rest of the frame would be shaking, and that happened way too many times as he was coming at the screen and jump scares and stuff. So overall, I think it was an alright film. I think the kids were great, the horrors were great, the story was decent. It's just based on the kids. There's no adults whatsoever. Well, sorry, there are adults, but it's not them as adults, so it's just the kids' story. So there's a few different twists and turns because it's just the kids, so they don't have to cut away to the adults. The pace of the film is a little bit over the place, but it's still entertaining. So in the end, I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10, and maybe a 6.5. I'll change that to a 6.5 out of 10. And the reason why I give it that is because for something that has taken 27 years to make, I think that it was a great adaptation, but there was just some stuff missing. I think the crazy amount of jump scares, the music, the scary music being way overdone, some of the plot just not clicking too well together. One thing that I didn't mention was that Mike, the 7th member of the group, is not even in the first hour of the film. He just comes in at about the hour, maybe hour 15 mark, and then his introduction to the group is well done, and then he's just sort of part of the group, and there's no real building of their dynamic or their friendship after that. It's just sort of, he's just there now. So that sucked. So yeah, there's a few different things. I do think it was well made, and cinematography was great, and costume design for, you know, Pennywise's new eyes were fantastic. So a lot of good stuff, a lot of bad stuff, and I'm going to go over more of the bad stuff in a spoiler video. But yeah, so that's it. So tell me if you've seen it. Try to leave out spoilers, try and be vague in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!